As summer winds down, are you carrying over the chaos or stepping into the next season with clarity and calm? Today, we're talking about what it looks like to close out summer strong so that you can step into fall and the holiday season refreshed, recentered, and ready when we return. Hello, 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 mama, and welcome back to another episode of the Making of a Mompreneur Show. Today's topic, the end of summer reset. Every mompreneur needs, okay? We need this reset. And spent the last few weeks diving deep into how to get your business vacation ready. That was the beginning of the summer, and how to stay visible without being online 24/7. And even how to plan ahead for those holiday sales that can make your year a success. But before we speed ahead, let's take a pause. I am Rasheeda Green, the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of this wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of Digi Mompreneur Academy. And we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to start, grow, and scale their online business so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. Now, you wonder how we do all of that. We do that through content, how we show up online. We do that through coaching, and that is either one-on-one or group coaching. And we also do that by our courses. So you get to learn how to run your business, how to start a business, how to become more visible, and so forth with our Digimompreneur Academy. Yes, so you will also be able to learn in there. You get graphics such as the social media graphics, you get account 2025 calendar so that you can actually plan your social media. So it's a social media calendar for the entire year. It comes with Canva links and captions and hashtags. It's really a beast. And so you want to jump into the Digimompreneur Academy. In addition to those things, we also have what's called our Learning Lab, where you get to learn different topics in the industry. And so that means you can learn Canva tips and tricks. You can learn email writing 101. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff, including different aspects of how to start a coaching or service offering business. All right, so we talked about that. But because summer is actually wrapping up now, not that it's over, we still have some time with some sunshine. And this is the perfect moment to actually look into resetting your rhythm, both in business and in life. Now, if you already go ahead and drop in the comments hashtag live. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you already put hashtag ready in the comment fields, but if you are not, I want you to go ahead and get your pen, paper, and digital device so that you can take down some of these notes to help you get ready for your reset, your end of summer reset. We're going to cover why reflecting matters before rushing forward, right? Taking that step, that breath back, taking that step back and breathing. We're also going to have a few practical ways to reset your business rhythms and how to step into this next season feeling both confident and centered, right? Now, if you already put hashtag ready, I'm happy for you. Thank you for being ready. But I want you to also put any hashtag nugget and tell us what nuggets that you've gotten from this episode to help us to know that, hey, what we're saying is actually reaching our people. All right. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dive in. First, we want to talk about reflect and release. Before we start making new lists and goals, remember we talked about establishing some goals for Q4. Just understand it's important to pause and reflect. Now, some simple questions that you can ask yourself. They're simple questions, but they may not be that easy to answer. What worked really well this summer in your business? Or if you're asking yourself, in my business, right? What are those things that worked really well? Now, if you rewind or go back and find some of our previous summer editions episodes, you'll know that we talked about how to set up your social media, how to set up your email campaigns and things like that and stay visible even though you're on vacation. right? So identify what actually worked with that plan, and let's start moving into that aspect of reset. What drained me or didn't fit the season I was in? Of the things that you worked on this summer, whether it be a project, a campaign, what drained you or didn't fit the season that you were in? So the season may be I was in a season of refreshing, I was in a season of renewing, I was in a season of stepping away, taking time with my family. What drained you or didn't fit the season that you were in? Lastly, what unfinished projects are worth carrying forward and what can I let go? So of those things that you worked on or didn't work on because you set it up automatically or you used automation to make it happen, what unfinished projects are worth carrying forward that really did well that you identified in that first question? And then those things that didn't do so well, why didn't they work? And can we just move past this and let it go? Reflection is very powerful because it helps us to release. You release the guilt if you didn't get everything that you set out to do done. Re- Release it. Let that guilt go. Release the pressure of comparing your summer productivity to someone else's. We're not worrying about what they're doing. We're not worrying about what they're doing. We're going to do what we can do, and we're going to gauge our success by what we've done and not what they've done. You can release what doesn't serve the business or the woman that you're becoming. So if you find that these things were being done because a coach told you, because an ad on Instagram told you, and it doesn't really work or fit into your business model or to how you operate as a woman, then let it go. This reflection time allows you to see those things for what they are and let them go. Because, mama, you can't build momentum on clutter. Now, that clutter can be in your mind, it can be in your business, it can be in your life. But the only thing you can do is build it on clarity. You want to build the next step and get momentum on clarity. All right. Next, we're talking about reset your CEO rhythms. Now, just like any music, you can be a 4 count, 8 count, you can mix it up here and there. It's a rhythm. It's cyclical. They say that there's nothing new under the sun. We talked about that and how things happen in life cycles, right? You have this beginning, this middle, this in storytelling. So it's the same with your business. You reset your CEO rhythms because the end of the summer often comes with natural shifts, right? We in the States, we have this ongoing debate about the change in time where we have to spring forward and fall back. In the fall, we have daylight saving time. There's this constant argument about that, but it naturally happens. There are natural shifts that happen automatically. And one of them is that kids go back to school, right? Family schedules begin to change because everyone's in school, and longer evenings to work or rest, even. Instead of fighting the change, you have to really get into it and reset with it. And we're going to talk about some ways to reset your CEO rhythms. The first one I would say is to refresh your daily start. Whether it's prayer, journaling, or a quick CEO check in, begin each workday with intention. It doesn't need to be long, but it should set the tone. So, what would be something that would set the tone for you? You first thing you get up in the morning. Some people, first thing they do is grab a cup of water. Some people say, I'm going to go and have prayer. I'm going to do some meditation. I'm going to start journaling. They may even journal their dreams. But even if you were to add a quick CEO check in, I'm going to just go check my stats from yesterday. If that's something that you want to do or add to your daily start, think about how you can refresh that routine. Then you can align your work blocks. When I say blocks, work blocks, I use time blocking. I was about to say Pomodoro, but that's not the same. So, time blocking, right? So, you revisit your calendar, and are your business hours aligned with your family's current schedule? That's a good question. That's something that you might want to check as we get back into fall, right? Because for me, I have these things that these kids keep signing up for, right? So now I'm talking about dance. We have dance already, but now there's track and cooking classes. And I'm like, how you getting to school with that? What are those during the school hours? Because now you're impacting my morning because they got to get you there brick early in the morning, and then you're impacting the evenings because now you're not taking the bus home from school. Somebody actually has to pick you up from these after school activities. What may have worked last school year may not work this school year. And so you want to be ahead of that as you're using time to reset your schedule and reset your rhythms, to look at that and make sure that all these activities are now aligning with one another. So that's your home life, your work life, your personal life, your love life. You got to put all this into that new calendar. And you want to block focused work time that honors both your business and your home life, because you don't want to say that, because I've done this, that I'm going to be working my 9 to 5, then my 5 to 9, which is my business. And next thing, the kids are already in the bed, dinner's already been eaten, and hubby is like snoring. You've missed the whole opportunity to spend time with your family. And that's not a good idea, because what happens is your children then end up despising entrepreneurship or even you, because the lack of time spent with them, because it would appear that you're choosing your business over your family. So we don't want to do that here at the Mompreneur HQ. We are trying to help you to make sure that you are balancing in a way that's harmony. And I say that because we cannot balance life against our family against our business. There's no way, because for me, my family will always outweigh my business. But in order to have a happy medium, you have to find, just like music. I don't know where all these music references are coming from, but just as with music, you have harmony. They don't have to be on the same level. If you look at a music sheet and those notes, they are not on the same level. If you had the same C note going all the way across, it would not make any music. It would just be a sound. But you can get all of those notes to play at the same time and make harmonious music, beautiful music. And that is the goal. So let's not think about work life balance. That's another oxymoron, right? Because who would put work first? It would be life. Life be life, and sure, but life would be more important in this area of my life. Let's talk about that. Simplifying your systems. We talked about building out these automations when we first started the summer. And so guess what? Automation still works here as we reset. What's one thing you can automate or streamline right now? Think about it. Maybe it's scheduling emails, so you don't have to do that every day. You can work. There's a lot of things you can do as far as batching work on a weekday or on a weekend. And so maybe it's scheduling emails, looking at pre-planning your content, or setting up auto responses. A lighter system means a lighter load. So if you can bulk create anything, do that so that it's easier on your schedule and it frees up your time during the week. This isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about making space for the things that truly matter in your life. As we get ready to go to the next topic, we're talking about stepping into the next season. And we're going to do that with intention. We want peace first, and then profit will follow. As we step out of summer and into what's next, remember this: you don't have to sprint. Now, I just told you my daughter's running track. She don't got to sprint. She may be a better marathon runner or doing long runs versus short runs, because sprinting, it it's over really fast, like 10 seconds. People are able to sprint in 400 meters or whatever the case may, 200 meters, 100 meters, whatever the case may be. It's it's over quick, but it takes so much energy. You exert so much energy, time, trying to get to the level where you can run fast. You get to the finish line and then it's like you're passing out, because it's just so much to do. And in business, you really don't need to do that. You can simply just instead set the intention for how you want to enter into the next season. You get to choose. You can take your time. You can do that with focus and not frenzy, because sprinting, you're like, you're running really fast, right? You can do this with clarity and not clutter. And we talked about that. You can also do this with peace and not panic, because that's one thing about trying to do a sprint instead of a marathon. Because with a marathon, you're in it to win it. You're in it for the long haul. You're taking your time to do everything that you need to do, get it done right. Sprinting represents rushing and going really fast. And if you're doing that, it's more than likely that you're going to miss a step or two. It's more than likely you're going to experience burnout. It's more than likely that, hey, you're going to get there, but it's going to be such a flop at the end. So definitely look at taking your time. And here's the key: when you center yourself first, you're able to lead your business from a grounded place. Your audience will feel it, and your family will feel it. And most importantly, so will you. This is the perfect setup for what's coming next on the show. Because guess what? September. Yay. So if you don't already know, September is my birth month, and I celebrate all month long. And that is in my personal life and also at the Mompreneur HQ, because September is all about self-love. I call it Self Love September. We've been doing it for a couple of years now, where we invite guests to come in and share with us in their respective expertise and how we can show ourselves some love in September. We'll be diving into how prioritizing yourself is not just good for you, but one of the best business strategies that you can have. OMG. If you can take care of yourself, then the rest will take care of itself. And I say that in a good way, but strongly also, because we talk about how you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, you can't. There's nothing to pour out. So if you keep expending all of your energy and pouring it out and giving it to others and giving it to your business, then by the time you look around, you don't have anything for yourself. And so you have to make yourself a priority despite what the internet may be telling you. You have to take time out for yourself. You can't feel guilty about taking that time out for yourself, because that's what society may want you to feel: guilt. If you can't spend every waking moment with your family. Oh, you're not homeschooling your children. Oh, you're not staying at home. Oh, your kids are in daycare. Some people get a little attitude about it, but at the end of the day, you have to do what works for you and your family. And so you don't have to feel guilt about the decisions that you make for the betterment of your family. But again, it has to start with you and what you need. And everyone needs sleep. Everyone needs good health. And these things are one of the first few things to go as an entrepreneur. You don't get no sleep because you're trying to do everything that you used to do and your business. Your body starts to deteriorate because you're not eating the way you're supposed to, because you're staying up late all times of night, snacking. You may even experience weight gain and stress induced health issues, because you're constantly under stress and under pressure. That may be self-induced, but that's not the conversation for today. But ultimately, you have to put yourself first. In order, we need to give this analogy once again. Think of it when you go on an airplane. They tell you, once the masks come down, put yours on first. Don't try to help the 2-year-old, because hey, the 2-year-old, they can't do it themselves. Absolutely no brainer. You have to help the 2-year-old, but you can't help the 2-year-old put their mask on if you don't already have your mask on, because by the time you try to do something for the 2-year-old, all the wind done sucked out of the air of the compression. And now what do we have? You don't have on a mask, and the baby has on half a mask, which is the same as not having on a mask. And so you can see how that would go terribly wrong. So start with you first. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're eating, drinking, whatever, eating, drinking, and indulging in self-help, self-love opportunities, self-help opportunities so that you can be the best you that you can be. And so, as we are thinking about this, the end of summer reset that every mompreneur needs, I want you to have a little challenge this week. I'm going to give you a little challenge this week, and that is for you to take a few minutes to journal these 3 questions. Now, before I move on, we do have journals available for sale on Amazon. If you go to the digimompreneur.com and check out our shop page, you'll be able to get linked there. Now, mind you, you may see some books on our shop page, but you'll see the rest once you actually go on to Amazon. All right, so just letting you know that those are available if you want to, but of course, a piece of paper would help, would do, or a notebook would do, or that journal you already have that's collecting dust because you haven't been using it on a regular basis. You can use that absolutely. So the first question is, what worked for me this summer in business? We talked about this. This is like a recap. The second is, what do I need to release before moving forward? So let's not drag, just like how sometimes we go into the end of the year, December 31st. I'm not taking this with me. I'm not doing this. I'm cleaning this out. I'm throwing this out. I'm washing my dishes. I'm washing my clothes. I'm not taking nothing dirty. I'm not taking anything that's not serving me into 2026. You can start that attitude right now. What do I need to release before moving forward into this fall season? And then what intention will I carry into this next season? So, what is it that I'm focusing on doing in this next season? What is it that I'm focusing on releasing, resetting in this next season? Is it something I plan on creating? Okay. What are my intentions at this point that I'm going to carry into the next season? I want you to also remember that you don't have to hustle to get ahead. You just need to reset, refocus, and lead with intention. Lead with intention. If you're ready to take this reset deeper, then I want you to stay tuned, okay? Because next week, we're kicking off Self Love September. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. In addition, we are also having our in-person event, Mompreneurs Marketing and Mocktails, on September 13th. If you haven't already gotten your tickets, shame on you. But there, I want you to go ahead to check out our website. Again, it's the www.digimompreneur.com/MMM. That stands for Mompreneurs Marketing and Mocktails dash 2025. So dash 2025. That's www.digimompreneur.com/M 2025 for your tickets. If you are in the greater Charlotte area, we have 4 dynamic panelists. We're going to be speaking about our content creation. We're going to be at a content creation studio, which means we are going to have a whole bunch of backdrops where you can take photos and videos so that you can create your very own reels and stories and social media posts with your actual image as the background versus stock images or any other images that might be out there for your business. So, why not take the opportunity to network with other business owners, to snack on some delicious brunch menu, on a delicious brunch menu, to get your headshots done. Yes, we have somebody coming in for headshots. So if you don't have any, you need to be buying that ticket. And if you have, and you do have one, how about just buy a ticket anyway? Because the ticket price is hugely undervalued for what you are getting in this package. We also have a VIP option for those who are VIPs. You will get a VIP packet, which is going to be just a little bit more special and extra icing on the cake for this special event. So Mompreneurs Marketing and Mocktails is not foreign. We've done it before. We've mostly done it virtual, though we have done it in person before. And we want you to join us if you're in the greater Charlotte area. Get your tickets today because the tickets will be closing out shortly. And we don't want you to miss out on this awesome opportunity to get all that we have to offer, to meet all whom we are going to introduce to you, and to get all of the content that you need for the remainder of the year done and done. All right, until we can see you again. I want you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your family, and I want you to keep building your life and your business, the life and your life and the business that you were called to create. All right, until next time.